Hey, amazing super ladies. I hope that you're all having a really, really, really good day. I wanted to jump in here because I received a message from a beautiful lady and she said, "Oh, I saw that you studied with Marissa Peer back in the days." And I was like, "Yeah, I did." And I really wanted to jump in here and to say how important it is because she was like, "I really love Marissa Peer. And I also am so attracted to your energy. And I'm going to send this to this lovely lady. Hi, lovely lady. You know who you are when you see that. This. Um, we gotta choose with what resonates with us because, well, what is the difference between me and Marissa? I really look up to Marissa. She is an amazing teacher, and I'm so forever grateful for everything I learned through her and understanding more about the subconscious mind. However, I have taken a very different path in my own life. Marissa is more like what she's explaining, more like the science-based, like the only the subconscious mind, where I realized so much after the training I did with Marissa back in 2016, and I realized that I couldn't really manifest the life I wanted based on just programming my subconscious mind. I actually had to allow my soul to come through. I needed a deeper understanding of my own soul. And this is where like my next phase of inner growth started to happen. And combining the subconscious work with the soul work was really the big game changer for me to understand how can I allow my subconscious mind to rest so that my soul can come through, me as the soul can come through, because the core, I am my soul and you are your own soul. So I've taken a quite a different approach. And also, I think it all depends, like who is it that we are drawn to work with. So some people who have come to my work and they have started my training, and they said like, oh yeah, it was really the choice between doing your course or Bob Proctor's course. And I was like, are you comparing me with Bob Proctor? So that because he is such a like huge person in my world. And I was like, I'm so happy that I'm even like being compared with that guy. So that was pretty awesome. But it also made me realize how extremely important it is that we just trust who does feel the right for us, because we as teacher, Bob Proctor, Marissa, myself, or Gabby Bernstein, whoever, we are all different and we all have unique approaches. And one thing that I realized after I did Marissa's training in 2016, it was that I saw that we did receive a very good training and understanding in how to help other people with her method, rep transformation therapy, which is an amazing therapy modality. However, we were quite alone after that training. So, and the promise was nothing else. Like it was never that you were not going to be alone afterwards, because it was just like a training in becoming a therapist. So what I saw happen in my own life, because I had so many realizations, the more I started to tune into my soul, the more I started to learn to trust my inner guidance, then so many things started to shift in my life. And I realized that I was in the wrong city. I was in the wrong business. I had a network marketing business that I had been struggling with for 10 years time, couldn't make money, even though I worked really hard. I kept attracting the wrong people and I felt very disconnected from everybody. And I just felt so alone. And I realized also that I was in the wrong marriage and I drank alcohol each and every night to numb. And actually the alcohol thing got even worse actually after the Marissa training, because now I realized that, well, I am meant for something else and I just could feel my soul so much more. But now I was still stuck in a reality that I just knew it wasn't mine. So then the alcoholic issue actually became worse. I drank more alcohol, which I had kind of forgotten, but I recently was reminded of that when a client of mine, she was like, then it feels like my life has gotten worse. And I was like, yeah, I know what you mean, because that can happen. Before we do a training, if we are very much out of alignment with how our soul, or we as a soul, what we have come to planet Earth to do, if we are very much out of alignment with that, like I used to be, and most of my clients are that way, we're very much frustrated and we know like I'm meant for so much more, but I just can't see what that more is. And my life is just off. And I see this huge, massive, fat vision of my life in freedom, in riches, where I have the money, where I can buy like the boat and the awesome house, where I can have like my amazing physical body feeling fantastic and just living a life of freedom. And there is this big gap, like the ideal life, the life that we know that we're meant to live, it's up here, but like we are operating down here, and it's like a big fat massive gap between them. So if we are down here when we take a training to become a therapist, then chances are, and we are just learning how to work with other people, like we did on the Marissa's training, and I have taken other trainings since as well. But most trainings, they focus on like how you can become the therapist or the coach yourself and to help other people. My understanding and what I saw was that what we actually need, yes, it is really good to learn to help other people, but even more important, I would say, is to learn how to help ourselves. And that is what I had to figure out after the training. I had to do that alone. I didn't have anybody to hold my hand. And that was extremely, extremely frightening. I felt alone. I was terrified. I started to develop anxiety. When I went through, so I came to the kind of conclusion, like I had to leave this marriage. Like leaving the marriage was that was the scariest. So first of all, the scary thing was to leave the network marketing, because I had invested so much time. It was 10 years, right? I had invested that. And I also was like, my ex-husband, his parents was in that business, and they were our upline and mentors. And his other like family relatives were also like the upline, and they were like big shot people in the business. And I felt so afraid of not belonging to that tribe anymore. Like, what will they think about me if I say like I'm not going to do this business anymore? I was terrified of not being good enough. So it was really almost like when people are saying when they are in a cult, like the network marketing is obviously not a cult, but how people describe it, the fear of leaving that tribe, it's like they're not going to accept me anymore. Like, I'm not saying that it was that way, but that was my feeling. That was the fear I had. So that was the first big fear that I had to kind of break through on my own. And then the other fear was that I realized like I have to leave this marriage. I can't stay. And that was so terrifying, because the marriage was not even bad. It was a beautiful relationship, but I just realized that life wasn't for me anymore. It was like a huge, massive just awakening. And since I didn't have anybody to hold, I didn't know, like, was it normal what I went through? It was not that I could call up Marissa Peer and like, is this normal? So I was really on my own. I had one woman that I had gotten to know that also did the Marissa training. I think, if I remember right, like that is how we got to know each other from the first place. I remember I talked to her and I was like, I think I need to do this divorce. And like, she tried to kind of coach me through it, but like, I still felt alone. And actually, after one of the calls that I had with her, she was like, Linda, don't, because I said to her, I was like, I really feel that I need to go, and there were some other stuff that I felt called to do in regarding like to men and stuff like that, because my twin flame, who is basically the other part of my soul, had actually now also showed up in my life. This is not Jonas that I live with today. So this is a whole like story of how everything appeared in my life. But my twin flame, he wasn't married, but he was in a relationship. He had kind of like a fiance. They had been like they had been engaged for like 30 years, and they had a kid, and he is 20 years older than me. And it was all this like from the head, like drama going on. And I said to this woman, I was like, I think I'm gonna go to Spain with this man. And she was telling me like, Linda, don't do that. And I already had so much anxiety. I was like, my heart, my whole body is screaming like, Linda, you got to do this. But my head was terrified, freaking out. So this was the reason I kind of cried out for help. I was like, can somebody help me and guide me through this? So this is why I talked to this woman. And she was like, no, Linda, don't do that. Like, this is out of integrity and don't do it. And I was like, and I got even more confused, because the travel to Spain was it was just a week in the future. And I just knew I had to do it. But now the coach, was telling me to not do it. And after that night, That was one of the most horrible experiences that I have had in my whole life. I had so much, because now I had already moved. I had already left I wasn't divorced. So I was still married on paper, but at least I had moved back to Stockholm. So I had my own apartment. And I remember that call that I had with this woman, and I was sitting in the couch, and then I went to bed and I couldn't sleep. I just felt so sick. I was like, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up. And I think, when you kind of have this feeling like you're drifting in and out of sleep, so you're kind of falling asleep, but then you're waking up again. And then one of the times when I woke up, I was in a pile of sweat. My whole bed was literally wet because I had so much anxiety in my whole system. So my bed was completely wet. Why am I sharing this with you? All of this happened after I took the training to become a therapist. And I didn't have any form of help afterwards. And I didn't know who to hold or catch on to that could help me, guide me through the process. This is why my program is very different, because I learned from my experience. I learned what I really wanted, and I learned what I really needed. And since then, this is 7 years ago since I had that anxiety experience, and I had to work it out on my own. It felt like I was really being thrown to the wolves from there was so much fear going on, but I survived. And here I am out on the other side, living my absolute dream life, having my amazing soulmate partner, having my physical body, because I also went through that. I really wanted to do a physical change. So I was born with a missed shape on my breasts. And that was also a whole process. I didn't have anybody who could guide me through that. And I just knew okay, I have to, that process took years. And now I have fixed that. I have my dream body now. I have I took the power back, and I organized the best possible way for me to actually look the way I wanted to look. But all of these, and also I went through that I couldn't make money, and I was alone in that as well. I didn't have anybody to help me and guide me. I had some colleagues, and we tried to do sessions on each other, but we were working on that, oh my goodness, for so long, for years. But the problem was that the people I asked for help to unlock so that I could make more money in my therapy business, they didn't make money either. So it was like a blind leading a blind. And I remember even feeling that at one point. I was like, I don't think that this gives me any more results actually to do those kind of RTT, erectile transformation therapy sessions, and everything else we tested. I was still stuck because the people I was working together with, I really felt like this is a blind leading a blind person. I couldn't help. They also wanted to make money, but I couldn't help them because I wasn't making money, and they couldn't help me. And this is where it kind of goes against what how Marissa sees things. So Marissa's approach is more like, yeah, but you can help anybody with anything. And what I saw from my own experience was that it's going to be really hard for us to help people if we have not gone through that ourselves. I saw that with doing those sessions. And still, I love Marissa, so there's nothing wrong about Marissa. It's just a different approach. It's different ways of seeing things. But I saw so many of her students feeling the same way, that when we have actually helped ourselves, it's going to be so much more easy to help somebody else. Where do I want to go with all of this? My approach to everything, since I was alone after the training, so many trainings are like this. You go to course and you learn how to become a coach, or you learn how to become a therapist, and then you have to figure everything out for yourself. And that can be really tough. That is basically when the hard work starts. The hard work is not to learn a skill. That is the easy part. The hard work starts after, when you are alone. This is why the Master Manifestor program is completely different from anything that I have seen on the market. The whole Master Manifestor program gives you, or whoever it is, the woman, the highly sensitive woman, because I only take on women who are this very sensitive, very, like, we are more of a sensitive nature. We are not this like masculine, like, not at all. We are more like sensitive, empathic. We understand people's feelings. We have many feelings ourselves. We understand exactly what different feelings feels like. And we know that we have many feelings, all right? So I help those women specifically who feel stuck in a job. They know that they are not meant to be in a job. I help them to understand their soul. I help them through the Master Manifestor program. This is the whole beginning of the Master Manifestor program. Like, it's divided in two halves. So the first half of the program helps my women, my amazing Master Manifestor students and clients. They tap into their soul. We allow the subconscious mind to relax so that they can get an understanding of their whole soul. Why they as a soul incarnated to Earth in the first place, what they have come here to do. And if my women have felt before they came into my world that they wanted freedom in their life, it is every single time then that their soul has planned a life in financial time freedom. Because somebody asked me, like, Linda, well, what if I really want this freedom in my life, but then I see my soul that it has planned for me to be stuck in a job? I was like, no, it doesn't work like that. If you feel that you're meant for freedom, your soul has planted that within you. That's the only way. Like, you can never have a desire that feels really, really, really strong that is not a part of your soul's plan. So this is what we would start with. Like, it's really a deep dive into your soul's purpose. The first thing we do, the first 2 weeks in the program is all about understanding your soul, understanding what it has come with, the unique gifts, to activate those unique gifts that only you have, because you are unique. Your soul has a unique essence that no other souls has. You are unique. And at the same, so connected with so many amazing other women and men on this planet who are also here doing this amazing work, but still we are unique. I often refer this to a bowl of popcorn, that before we wake up and understand our soul, we are like this little popcorn seed. But you know, when you pop them, every single seed, all the ones that pop, because sometimes some of them don't pop, but the ones who pop, they get this beautiful, amazing, unique shape. So they are part of a bigger popcorn bowl. They're part of the big, and at the same time, they're a unique little piece themselves. And that is what I see, that when we are the popcorn seeds, before we wake up, so many people are just like zombies, being stuck in their phone on their way to work, and they're like trying to numb themselves, maybe be on Instagram or scrolling TikTok, whatever, just to numb. Or maybe they're doing like I used to do, drinking alcohol, trying to forget my life. So when we then wake up, we understand, oh, holy guacamole, like I have such a big, massive, fat purpose. And then what normally happens when we realize that we have this big, massive, fat purpose is that fear kicks in. Exactly what happened for me on my journey when I realized that, oh shit, I have this big thing that I am supposed to do, and I'm stuck in this little life. I now start to see that I may want to do some changes. And then a lot of fear kicks in. I see this with not everybody, but almost all my clients have this phase of fear. And then self-sabotage kicks in. So feelings of, oh, am I really in the right program? Maybe I should just hide. Maybe I should just like quit doing anything. So that is a normal phase. And that is just showing that the inner work that we are doing, it is working. All right. This is when the next phase of the program starts, which is also in the first half, but this is more focused on how to actually help your subconscious mind to feel safe while you are still exploring how to now start to live more accordingly to your own soul. And once you get a hang of this, which you will before you come to the second part of the program, you have my guidance the whole time. Every single week, right now it is on Wednesdays. We may change that because right now I am in Sweden. I'm based in Stockholm at this moment, but in a few weeks' time, we are most likely going to Vietnam and we will be there. So I don't know what time I will change things to and days and stuff like that. But right now, It is on Wednesdays at 4 p.m., like 4 in the afternoon. And we have these group coaching calls every single week. So then you will always know, like all my clients, they know, like, okay, every single week I get to have Linda in front of me in this group coaching call together with these amazing, lovely women, because they are forming a tribe. This is so incredible to see. Like yesterday, I don't know if this is yesterday when you see this, but for me, yesterday, I had a celebration call with some of the amazing women who could make it to that celebration call, because I wanted to celebrate my success, that the second part of the program that I will very soon tell you about. I wanted to celebrate that that was now finished. And I said, like, who want to come on online and to celebrate this with me? And there were so many of the women, they were like, yeah, I'm going to celebrate. So I also asked them, like, can you please come on to the call with like the glass of your favorite drink, because we're really practicing on celebrating ourselves and learning how to really like show what we are really good at and what we are proud of. So I asked them to come on and to share what they were proud of, like who they are becoming since they started the program. And they were doing this, and the response I got afterwards from the amazing women who were there, they were like, that was so awesome to get a chance to meet with this other amazing, lovely ladies, form connections and beautiful, fantastic relationships that will probably last for a lifetime. And we get to celebrate each other. We get to know each other. We get to like virtually hug each other. And very soon we will have a physical meetup as well. So they will all meet. And you can also be included into this beautiful, amazing tribe. Like the tribe thing is one of the massive things that they all are like raving fans about, because they absolutely love this, being a part of this beautiful, amazing tribe of women that are like themselves highly sensitive, and they want to have this big, fat, massive, purposeful life on planet Earth. And they're all setting that up. So that is the whole first part of the program, to understand your soul's purpose and then start to live according to it. Because what happens when we live according to our soul's plan? Everything starts to change. We start to be more able to attract the money that we want to have, because we're also working on releasing subconscious fears around money and charging for what our work is actually worth, which is a lot. Because with your soul's gifts, you have so much ability to access so much from, sorry for that, into the microphone, but you have so much ability to just like download so much extraordinary information from the whole universe and help yourself and help future clients. So the next part of the program, so the first part is focused on you really stepping into your power and start to manifest the life that you know that you're meant to live, which is according to your soul's true purpose. And this is where you get the feeling of being happy. This is when you get the feeling of waking up in the mornings of feeling so freaking excited. This is when you get the feeling of just like peace, knowing that you're guided, knowing that everything works out for you. This is really the process of how to have the whole world to work for you instead of against you. Because many women, many people, they feel like the world is working against you. And when we are doing this in a work, exactly how I teach it to you, and when we start to live according to our soul's purpose, then the whole world start to work in a different way around us. This is incredible. And I know this for myself now. So I used to believe that I could not have like female friends. And I used to believe that all men were assholes, basically leaving me with no people, because I believed that men were assholes, couldn't make female friends. Now I have shifted that. And I know that I attract the most amazing men into my life, like conscious people. I have the most wonderful soulmate partner, Jonas, that you probably have seen on photos. Like that is my loving relationship. And we are like attracting amazing other men into our reality, where we are sharing business ideas, and like we are really forming these beautiful connections with amazing conscious men. And then I'm attracting so many wonderful women into my reality. They are showing up absolutely everywhere. And I just know now that I am a vibrational match for everything that I want, for the money that I want, for the relationships that I want, for the friendships that I want, for the business partnerships that I want, for the freedom that I want, living in Vietnam, Bali, whatever I want to live. Like I am a magnetic, an energetic match for all of that. And that is what you will learn to become, an energetic match, everything that you want to attract into your ideal life. That is the whole first part of the Master Manifester. Second part of the Master Manifester. So normally it takes about like 1.5 months to go through the first part. And then the next 1.5 months is about learning how to help other people. So now you have gotten this transformation yourself. You have not like physically manifested everything in 1.5 months. That's very fast. So the process will still keep going on, but you have laid the foundations. Your life has transformed during these 1.5 months. Like this is also like quite sad about so many people that live with the lie or the belief that it takes years to do a transformation. They're like, yeah, but it takes so many years. Like you have to go to a therapist and you have to talk. And I'm like, no, skip the talking and just do the transformation. Heal the root cause straight away. Don't stop working with the fucking symptoms. I'm done working with the symptoms. I used to go to so many therapists when I was younger because I had so much fear of being alive. I was afraid of almost everything. And here I am now when I started to understand. And that was thanks to Marissa in the first place, Marissa Peer. Like when I understood, like, oh, we can actually work with the root cause. We don't need to work on the symptoms. That is her stuff. Like, that is amazing. And then I learned, like, how do we do this? So, okay, the second part of the program is that we are learning. I'm teaching you. This was never a part of the program in the first beginning when I first created the Master Manifestor. The first like part, that was when I lived back in Bali and had completely set myself free, which was so awesome. And now we are so excited to go back. Like, I can't wait. Anyway, the second part of the program, because I realized that so many women wanted, when they saw the results that they had in their life, they were like, we really want to give back. We want to help more people. And I was like, I can actually teach you all of this. So I put in place the second half of the Master Manifestor, which is how to become a Master Manifestor mentor, so that you as well, as the client who already have all these amazing results now for yourself, when you now can start to help others with all the tools that I have put together for you. So it's like a whole toolbox on how you help other people with hypnosis, with understanding their soul, with helping them to remove subconscious fears, like all this magical stuff that I've learned through different teachers, through my own soul, through my guidance system. Like, it is all a beautiful cake baked on these different ingredients that I've learned through this 7 years. And that is what you have access to. And after the program, you can call yourself a Master Manifestor mentor, because what you are doing is that you mentor people through your own experience. This is why I don't agree with, if you never struggle with weight, I don't agree with then going out and help people with weight. It's going to be quite hard. But if you have gone from feeling depressed to waking up freaking excited each morning, like so many of my clients, clients/students, so many of them were like me. We used to feel so depressed when we woke up in the mornings, and now we're waking up with so much excitement because we are in alignment with our soul. So my clients who did like the first part of the training, they are now helping others through everything they're learning in the second part of the training, which is to help other people. They are helping them now to also find their soul's purpose, because they have done that process themselves. Because I stand for pulling people. So you go first, you do your manifestation and transformation process with my guidance the whole time. This is, like I said, this is the big difference. After Marissa's training, I was alone and I had to figure everything out on myself. And this is why I woke up that night with a pile of sweat, because I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. And there were so many mornings where I just like, I'm throwing up. I remember my mom called me one day. She was like, how are you? I'm like, I'm hanging over the toilet because I'm throwing up, because I have so much anxiety, because I didn't have any help. I had to figure it all out by myself. So this is the difference for all of you. When you are in the program, you have my guidance the whole time, and you have the sisterhood of this amazing, wonderful women that are like yourself. Like I said before, they're also going through the program at the same time as you, and you will have women in the program that have been in the program longer than you, meaning that they can also pull you, because we are leading from the front and we are pulling people. We never push them. So how I see that so many people work when they are working, like when they just learned a technique, maybe they learned hypnosis, or maybe they learned coaching, whatever. It's like they're kind of pushing people. They never did the stuff themselves, but they're like pushing people. But how I teach it and what I really stand for is that we pull them. We go first and then we pull them, so that we show the way. And this is the thing about being a mentor, because I Googled, I was like, what shall I really call? Shall I call my people hypnosis coaches, or what shall I call them? And then the word mentor came to me, and I was like Googling the word. And then I realized that when I Google the word mentor, it means that it is somebody with experience who have done, they're talking and teaching from experience. And this is the thing that you hear me all the time. I speak from experience. This is why I don't do, like, even though I am very happy with my physical body, and I have amazing habits that allows me to have this beautiful, amazing physical body. Because some people are like, I have a woman, she's like, I'm quite jealous about your stomach. And I'm like, yeah, but if you would do the same things as I am doing, then you would also have the flat stomach, right? But since I have not gone through a weight loss journey, it's hard. The people are not going to listen to me, because they're always going to say like, yeah, but you have different circumstances. So this is why I don't teach on weight loss, for example. But for my amazing clients who come into the program and they know, like, I really want to learn how to work with myself on weight loss, they can help themselves through the program, because the techniques that they're learning in the program will help them to understand how to help themselves, first of all. And when they then have the results of their ideal body, or even they are just in the process of creating their ideal body, then they can help people with that process. So I really hope that makes sense. That is what I stand for. Like, we start to manifest what we want, happiness in the mornings, or ideal body, whatever it is, the ideal relationships, or feeling safe when we're dating, or whatever it is. And then we pull other people with us that want the same results. And that is how the Master Manifestor program is done. So I hope that this makes sense. I hope that this gives you a more clear idea of what is the difference between me and Marissa Peer and Bob Proctor and all these other people that you may have been interested in. And I just encourage you to go with your own feelings, go with your own intuition, and then ask a million questions. Ask questions. If you have any questions about my program, or if you have questions about somebody else's program, like, ask. And at least I know that I am here to help you. And I guess that the other people are there to help you as well, because I really want every woman that comes on to my program. I want that to be a perfect soulmate match. It shall be a match made in heaven. And this is why I do not just take on anybody. This is why I'm not just taking calls and stuff like that. No, you go through my material, you see, does it resonate with you? If it does, then you can let me know and we can have a chat. I will answer all your questions, and then I will have a few questions for you as well, because one of the non-negotiable things for me, like, I never take on anybody who's in the victim mentality. I always take on women who promise me that I have left the victim mentality and I have stepped into my own power. I may not exactly know how to do it, but I'm willing and open to learn, and I'm committed to follow the process. I want to have, because the promise of my program is that you will find your soul's purpose, and you will have your first soul's purpose client, paid client, within 90 days. That is the promise of my program. And this is why I'm very picky with whom I'm taking onto the program, because I want to know that I can deliver on that promise. And in order for me to deliver on that promise, because I know that the program delivers, but the unsure factor for me is the people I bring on. And this is why I'm so picky. So if you feel that the message that you have heard, that it resonates with you, and you maybe have some questions about the program or about me or my journey, whatever it is, because again, what I said, it is important that the mentor that you are going to have, the teacher, it is important that he or she has the results that you want to have. So if you want to ask about my results, feel free. I'm an open book. I'm here for you. With that said, I'm sending you so much love. Bye for now.